The role of marketing at Diageo has, I think, gone through a massive cultural revolution over the period of this case. So
to launch a program like that in sort of 65 countries in under a year and a half was, if someone had told me that someone else had done that, I don't think I'd have believed it.
And also, we know how difficult it is to change culture in big organisations, but the drive towards a culture of effectiveness and creativity together, I think, was really smart. And in many ways, it actually cemented the relationship between the two.
There's a lot within this case study, but the one thing it boils down to is that combination of a systematic approach with the dynamics of human emotion.
What we wanted to do with our marketing function in this new era was combine measurement with magic, creative magic with measurement excellence. That was really the mantra that we had. So Diageo is basically the world's largest premium alcoholic beverage company. So it owns a really large portfolio of brands, a lot of which are sort of very well-known household names. So the likes of Johnnie Walker Scotch Whisky, Smirnoff Vodka, Tanqueray and Gordon's Gins, Guinness. About 200 brands in total, so it's a massive portfolio, and we sell those brands in about 180 countries worldwide. Brand building and marketing has really been just deeply woven into the DNA of the company, and I think what changes, of course, for every company is the external environment. 5 years ago, macroeconomic growth was slowing down, not just in developed markets, but actually in a lot of emerging markets that had been having a sort of boom few years off the back of the Great Recession of 2008. That had started to really come off the boil.
the industry was going through a bit of a turbulent moment, and I think there was a lot of focus on cost cutting. What Diageo did was we committed to our shareholders that there would be a £500 million productivity gain for the business. And as part of that, our marketing organization signed up to deliver £100 million of profit improvement.
And so the idea that you would cut your way to growth in that environment just didn't feel right or seem right. Actually, what we wanted to do is be able to build a positive investment case for marketing. We wanted £100 million of profit growth. How are we going to do that? Well, you're going to get that when people make different decisions compared to what they're making today, informed by data and an insight that actually tells you what's working and what's not. And the big gamble, the big bet we took was actually investing in this quite technology-heavy approach to marketing effectiveness, what we called the Catalyst program.
So Marketing Catalyst is sort of a world first as a suite of capabilities. It's actually 4 tools today within Diageo, but it's a suite of capabilities leveraging marketing mix modeling or econometric modeling, baked into scenario planning or game planning tools.
There are 2 distinct ways that we can grow our business faster using marketing. We can move money from lower to higher performing brands, or we can improve the return on investment we achieve from individual brands' marketing program by choosing a better mix of activities and planning more optimal media. Using millions of data points, Marketing Catalyst enables us to make decisions across all brands and markets using a common currency.
Marketing Catalyst is not a black box that tells our brand builders, our marketeers around the world what to do. It really gives them a platform to test and forecast an outcome based on what they plan to do.
And there was really an element of building the plane as we flew it with this program, because we were on that tight 3-year business case clock. You know, I'd say I'd characterize it that we sort of spent the first year of that 3 years having started from a clean sheet, basically building this capability. And by the end of year 1, it was sort of launched fully in our first couple of markets and was ready to go for the rest of the world. We then spent the sort of full second year of the program effectively switching that capability on country by country as fast as we possibly could. And it wasn't just about turning on the computer, it was back to the, how do we unlock value here? It's in changing how people make decisions. And so, as well as the Catalyst technology, the complement to that was actually the capability building program we put into the business around this. We called it Peak Performance. It's a sort of big investment we made in our marketers, actually in our people. 1,200 plus of them are spread out across 60, 70 countries where we have a sort of physical presence. And what we were able to do over the course of about 14 months was physically get our marketing effectiveness experts on the ground in each of those countries to spend at least a week with those teams, training them up in the new capabilities, not just how to click buttons in the tool, but actually really, right down to the teaching first principles of marketing measurement and econometrics on a whiteboard, that kind of level, but also spending quality time understanding local specific challenges that people are encountering.
It was really important for us as an organization that we not pull, too far into this data and technology space. A core component for us as brand builders at Diageo is the emphasis on creative brilliance. And so as part of this, we rolled out to all 1,200 of our global marketing organizations something that we called Creative Sparks. Creative Sparks was a roadshow, a showcase, if you will, of some of the most brilliant examples of where creativity was at its finest across our brand portfolio around the world, as well as how we were partnering with our agency partners to work in a more effective and streamlined way to really land that creative idea.
In my darkest hour, I turned to my teammates. Telling them I was gay, that was the toughest thing I've ever done. They were there for me.
I feel like it's a deepening and an extra commitment to things that Diageo has always been driven by when it comes to marketing and creativity. But I think it was an extra impetus, it was fresh inspiration, it was like breathing oxygen into it. And that in turn created more enthusiasm to push things. For example, I think the quality of the briefs that came after a day's training in great briefing, or in fact in great connections planning, really improved.
Make it a night you'll remember. Guinness Clear. With new Guinness Clear.
And also, we know how difficult it is to change culture in big organisations, but the drive towards a culture of effectiveness and creativity together, I think, was really smart. And in many ways, it actually cemented the relationship between the two, which you all know is there, but having these two programs twin track has really helped.
Saying actually, we don't see it as a contradiction. We see it actually as a huge accelerator to our organisation, that we are able both to have this really sophisticated approach to investment measurement and planning and optimization, and actually we're going to put serious resources into having the best creative agencies, into ensuring our people are the most articulate and effective at working with those agencies and getting the best out of them. At the end of 3 years, so we delivered over £200 million of incremental profit just from those marketing investment changes and optimizations, that shift in our decision making, which was a fantastic result for us. As those results came through, what we would see is the business got more and more confident in making investment decisions, incremental investment decisions in marketing. And so if you look at Diageo's marketing investment over the last 5 years, it's essentially gone up by about a third, which, for a big corporate like Diageo, that's a big step up.
As well, looking more externally, looking at the IPA, looking at how a brand like Guinness and the Made of More campaign continues to be recognized externally, and how that continues to resonate with our consumers and in all of our brand tracking data that we have on the Guinness brand. So really, really strong proof points, not only in the way we measure it, but also in the way that our consumers are reacting to it, and the industry as a whole is reacting to it.
A program like this gave us a structure to think about. When I look over the desk at the Bailey's brand team, who've had extraordinary success over recent years, I not only am inspired by the work that they do, but I understand the structure behind it, the way they have continually looked at both how to make better work and how to better deploy it, and have been continually moving on.
Don't mind if I Bailey's. Delish.
Similarly, we on the Guinness brand team were very inspired by the way the Gordon's team had reset their brand and what it was about, using a very strong creative brand world.
OMG&T. It's Gordon's pink. Gin means berries.
It's not competitive, but you are inspired by what others are capable of.
So we're able to twist and turn now around things that are going on in the world in a way that perhaps we weren't able to in the past. And that's showing up in all sorts of ways. Most recently, the Welcome Back campaign that really sort of touched the heart of the nation, I think, as pubs were reopening, people were getting back together.
You were always on my mind.
There's a lot more rigor behind the choices we make in investing behind our brands. objectivity, it has taken away all of the tension and the argument and sometimes emotional conversations around how much should be above or below the line. So these days we sit around the table with the data in front of us, commercial, marketing, and finance, and we make the calls. We've got the data right at the heart of that.
The marketing team, the customer marketing team, and the sales team, who all have different pots of money. That money is all analysed and reviewed by Catalyst. So quarterly, they meet as a team, and they're really intentional now about their spend and demonstrating return on investment and effectiveness. And that's been a huge cultural shift that's had positive implications across the organisation.
The risk that you run is that, you've got folks in the marketing team coming from different backgrounds, different contexts. And then it can lead to a lack of standardization or different frameworks. And I think, these planning tools just provide a framework within which, of course, each marketer can exercise their freedom and their creativity and brings in a certain standardization and structure.
During the pandemic, this hasn't stopped. Actually, it has helped us to remain consumer-centric, to make sure that we're tapping into the most relevant local insights, and has helped us develop relevant content in an agile way.
We sometimes frame this as a marketing effectiveness case. It really was a change management case. And that started from building the belief with our executive leadership team in the role that marketing plays in delivering not only net sales today, but over a longer period of time. That trickles down into convincing our market leadership teams that the role that marketing investment plays in helping them deliver their P&L.
We had from the start really incredible sponsorship and support from Diageo's executive committee for this, which when you're about to embark on a change of that magnitude was such a key success factor for us.
Our commercial capabilities combine world-class brand building with our data tools and analytics. Our people and culture underpin this. We believe our data analytics tools give us a competitive advantage by digitally enabling our sales and marketing teams. As a result, we've delivered excellent commercial execution and brand activation, both in store and online.
It would have been easy during the pandemic to pull back on a lot of the work that we do, to either not create or to not air work. Actually, we maintained investment in marketing. We maintained investment in above the line, and through the line, we experimented more in what we could do in the channels that were most relevant, increasingly digital and e-com and those things. But underneath it all, there needed to be that faith that you didn't just stop, that actually marketing isn't a cost, it's a benefit, it drives growth. And that was that cultural ethos that goes right up to the senior stakeholders and to the investor community, actually. I think maybe that was the most important thing this programme did.
So for me, this is a great case study in how a large business can create the conditions for growth and really embed that in culture, but also allow creativity to flourish at the same time.
What you don't need to take away from this case is I can only do this if I invest in a big computer system. The technology element was a practical solution for a complex multinational organisation. What you need to understand is what are the decisions getting made in my business that actually have an impact on the performance of marketing? Can I measure the performance of that marketing? And can I then actually build a capability that will help improve those decisions and therefore build that virtuous circle of confidence in the value of marketing investment? And I believe any company can do that.